Love, dating, and relationships on steroids. Welcome to the Lover List, where Reddit's juiciest love stories are served fresh daily. Hit that like button, drop a comment, subscribe and turn on notifications before love passes you by. I just went out on a date with a guy I've been seeing for a little while. I wanted to hug him at the end of our date and he started crying. I've been dating this guy only for a couple weeks. I really like him. He's super adorable and mild-mannered and well-meaning. He's really big, like 6 feet 6 inches and around 350 pounds, and super strong. And boy do I love the body hair, lol. He's always been really empathetic and just always seemed to know what to say, and when to just let me vent. He was always a bit awkward, but I thought it was cute. And yeah, I wanted to hug him after our night, and he started crying when I did. He said it had been years since someone hugged him, and that he never thought anyone like me would be attracted to him. He said he thought he was ugly and he hated his body and hated how everyone was always scared of him. He just kept apologizing and apologizing, saying he shouldn't be making me uncomfortable, but I told him it was okay. We just sat on his couch for a while I kind of held him, just talking about our insecurities. Not much else to say really. I just thought it was really sad how he seems to have never had anyone to talk to. Please don't hurt my boy. I went on a date after a 2-year dry spell. Met a cute varsity chick who went with me to the movies. The seats reclined, so we laid down together while she rubbed my belly. It felt like literal warm electricity flowing through my body since I was starved of affection for so long. Sometimes it's frustrating being skin-starved as a man, but a lot of us go through this. Majority of men go through this. Yeah, for sure. What's crazy is that I'd gotten so used to being alone that when physical contact happened, it made me realize that I completely forgot what that sensation was like, warm skin against mine. I'm really picky though, so it's kind of self-inflicted. Most men are starved for physical and emotional attention. A lot of men only get compliments once a year, which is during their yearly personal development meeting with their manager. The sad truth is, this guy is far from the rare when living in a man's world. I would say that there is a sizable arbitrary about 30% of men who have come to terms that they won't ever find anyone that loves them. Raise his hand. I feel like if you're after average nice guys, real nice guys, not nice guys, your best bet is checking dating apps for lengthy bios and read them first. Don't even look at the pictures until you've decided you like the bio, and then do a is he cute/hot enough given how much I liked the bio decision. So, do filter by attractiveness but not in a vacuum. Rather than a is he cute/hot enough, I'll read his bio. Because it seems like women often do the latter and wind up with a cohort that is relatively more attractive but less interested in something serious. Just my take. For all I know, you haven't even used dating apps, and they definitely suck, but it's also where most guys will go first. And if they're less socially confident, maybe the only place they'll go. Thanks for the advice. I just relocated, so meeting anyone at this point, friends or more, would be nice. I'm even open to friendly female company since I don't know anyone in my new area. I just want a nice man, who is relatively nice to look at, who likes to have nice conversation, enjoys a couple of the same things as me, and likes filthy sex to spend till death do us part with. Not too much to ask for, right? So heart-touching that you have to share it across multiple subreddits for extra karma? How beautiful. You knew this was fishy. Like perfect hope piece for the men of Reddit. Everyone likes to be hugged and held every so often. Ladies forget that men need this too. You're a good and kind woman. As a man who has been with all kinds of women, I can definitely say, you have to wait to be able to open up about your feelings. If you just go on the first date and say the story of your tragic life, most women will think you're begging for their pity or too dependent emotionally and will get scared of it and go away from you. You have to actually care for her stories first, hear what she has to say, and when she opens up about an insecurity, that's when you have to both calm her and say something about your insecurity. She says like, I've never thought a man would like me because I'm so skinny/fat/stupid/ill/ugly/whatever. You should say you aren't any of those things. I also thought I'd never find love/someone like you/affection/someone who has the hots for me/etc. Secondly, you have to open up little by little to your partner, because when you're already in a relationship, she will feel insecure if you never disclose your own feelings. She has to know you listen to her and care about what she feels just as much as you care about yourself. And how can she know you care about yourself? When you say to her things that go around in your mind. Most women will like it when a guy they're dating talks about feelings and makes the effort to create a balance between working your problems out and her problems. The third thing is, do not make every time they vent as something around or about you. If they want to say something directly to you about your attitude or actions, listen, say you will work it out and actually think about it another time. If she's venting about something that doesn't involve you, do not speak over her telling about how the same thing happened to you and it was horrible. She will get angry because you didn't listen and because you made it about you. Finally, just know that when you're with a partner that really loves and cares for you, they'll also make an effort to listen to you and ask about how you're feeling. You just need to do the same thing. I did the complete opposite of this with some humor inserted, but still. And the girl I'm talking to was at this point might as well be past tense. She didn't want to be like boyfriend and girlfriend, just FWB and someone to hang out and go to concerts with, but knew I had to open my mouth and say way too much. I have to work on that. Thanks for posting this. I'm gonna keep this in mind for the next one. This one's probably not calling me back after I unloaded on our first date. She hasn't texted me in 3 days since our first meet, so hope you get someone better next time, bro. Is this one of the dudes drowning you in cock, or does he not get that opportunity cause you don't see him like that? Ooh damn, that guy was in dire straits. I've seen that before. Years without any meaningful physical contact beyond handshakes/shoulder pats can really crush people up after a while, some sooner than others. Take it easy on him. He might want to try and lock things down with a serious relationship quickly. It sounds like he might have been dealing with shit on his own for a long time. Are you still attracted to him is the question? Because usually after a man shows vulnerability like that, a woman becomes less attracted to him. It's why we hold our emotions inside. As a man, it just doesn't benefit us. As a woman, I hear you. I think this depends on the woman and the context. If someone I barely know opened up to me like this, I'd be a bit concerned. Do they do this on every first date? Are they emotionally unstable? I don't want to be someone's therapist before even getting to know them. However, if I already care about this person, I find it touching. It takes a lot of trust for men to be vulnerable with women. To me, it means they value our relationship and trust me with their difficult emotions. It doesn't necessarily impact their attractiveness, but it does improve the relationship, strengthening feelings of intimacy and connectedness. It makes me feel more comfortable being vulnerable myself, which makes the relationship feel more fulfilling. It makes me irrationally angry when women react negatively, as you say. I have seen it. It was more common in my teen/early 20s, but some women, and men, never really mature to the point of valuing the expression of vulnerability in others. I've heard this from men. I dated a guy who told me his last girlfriend would never let him be held because it wasn't right. I was like, WTF, that's bullshit, and I held him on my chest or big spooned anytime he wanted. I think it's so insanely sad that men are asked to be vulnerable and then often rejected. I am so glad I become more attracted when men are vulnerable with me. I'm very sorry you have to deal with that. As a man, it isn't right. Women should be more aware of this and call out other women when they engage in this type of toxic behavior. Be careful. Folks with opinions of themselves that are that low can cause issues in relationships, being potentially very draining and with high demand on emotional labor. It's one thing to be kinda lonely and happy about finding someone, but for someone to start crying and stuff like that, it does also make me wonder about his emotional regulation capabilities, especially when it's someone you've only been talking to for a couple weeks. Stuff like trauma dumping comes to mind also. The way you are describing his physical attributes make me feel you are just more into the physical aspect of him than to know him as an actual person. Also, there is no point in posting this in a lot of threads. Seems like you just want to earn the karma points with a story that didn't need our input at all. Obviously, his physical attributes are what's keeping her around. Do you really believe a 5 feet 6 inches person doing the same thing is gonna get this sympathy, lol? And look at her other posts. She's gonna hurt this dude. Aw, I'm a guy and this really touched me. I deal with a lot of insecurities and I'm working on myself all the time and have been able to work through most of them. This is an awesome guy. If he was my buddy, I'd even hug him. Thank you for posting this. This is things that need to be said every once in a while to show the positive side of dating. This is so real. I know what it's like when somebody hugs you or whatever and you just fall apart. Sometimes you don't even realize you're barely holding it together. You get so accustomed to the struggle and the solitude you just don't recognize how much it's weighing on you, and then some cute girl comes along and pierces your bubble and you just fall apart. The part where he is awkward and you find it cute is part infatuation. These things wear off with time and it will be an easy thing to be annoyed at. Second, if your close friends will see it as awkward and keep pointing it out, then it will drift your perception. If you really like him, great, but to me it sounds like you don't, otherwise you wouldn't say he acts awkward. Tell him bye and look for someone else before you hurt him, as he seems like a good guy. I do wonder why you needed to post about this as well, really curious. Glad you could join us for another episode of relationship stories that'll make you feel all the feels. If these tales moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Turning on notifications will ensure you never miss a beat of these heartwarming stories.